what's up. So, if you've been following me for a while, right? I think the main thing that terrifies me the most in the world now is the language we speak. And I feel just like the book of Thomas, right? Where he talk about like the people who are chosen are the people who seek, people who wonder, right? The people who seek awe, people who look for the wonders of the world, you know? And, you know, I don't know what it is, but the one thing I learned about going through pain and trauma is just like my mind, or the voice inside of my mind, wants to find the path of least resistance for me. And I did like a really deep dive. I don't want to say a really deep dive. I wish I had more energy and time to do more research on Noah Webster. And I realized the language we're speaking is so evil. And I feel like it affects man more than anything. And I feel like it's the language that put this submissive and dominant mentality in us, right? Because I know it's not people's fault. Everything that we're experiencing right now has been experienced before thousands of years ago. Going right back to the Messiah saying, "Forgive them, Abba. They do not know what they do." Not understanding is probably like the 113th lifetime of us doing all of this. You understand? And I say all of that to say this, right? I've been gang stalked for over 10 years by a group of drug dealing, gang banging child predators, okay? And the whole time I've gathered evidence, video, screenshot, everything. And I did what Christianity told me to do, which is I gave it to God and looked the other way. But for over 10 years, it's been relentless with these same people acting like victims when I speak up, putting me in the same position as Emmett Till, because I decided to have boundaries. And you know, the wild thing about it is, there's a lot of people like that, a lot of famous people like that, who try to speak up and have boundaries because something inside bothers them, and they get destroyed with false allegations. Some people can't rise up from false allegations. Thank God I had a Puerto Rican mother. Thank God. And I mean that as like we might have been poor, but that woman taught me a lot. As you can see right now, you understand? And I felt like she's my extension to all of this. She's the reason why I got this voice right now. Because I just the past 3 months, I started speaking up for myself, and I realized in the English language, a person who's been dominant in their mind for so long, the dominant person who's been trying to get a person to submit to them with boundaries, the narcissist, okay? They don't like to be dominated with words. That's why they went after Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these speakers. It's because people decided to have a voice. You have to break out of the filter of the English language, because the English language creates filters. It creates these internal filters to keep you from wanting to hurt people's feelings. And I realize they don't realize. I've read the witchcraft books. They don't realize it. You see how, like, I give you an example. I can't have an interview with Mr. Donald Trump. I don't like to lie. I don't like liars. I don't like the story of Emmett Till. Everybody that did that to the little boy, they quiet down. They call themselves American. They call themselves great. Say they have honor. We all know the Pledge of Allegiance. Yet when it comes time to be real soldiers, they remain quiet. You understand? They don't stand on the truth. Humans, real humans. It's like I was saying in the video before, we're dealing with two different kind of natures now. We're dealing with the children of Cain and the children of Abel. And the one thing I love the most now that I realize, just based off of the research I did with the English language and the current environment we live in, nobody wants to hear the truth. Well, me aside. Because like now, it's 9 million people in the world who don't know how to read. I know it's not really their fault. I know it has everything to do with the fact that internally their spirit understands that this is an evil language. I don't want to learn it. I get that. Why would you want to read a Necronomicon, an evil spell? Like it's a book out there, you know, the Grimoire. I'm not gonna name it, but they talk about how like, oh, that's in here. They could teach you how to summon Lucifer. Like, why would I wanna? Why would I want to do something like that? You understand what I'm saying? People out here nuts like that. You understand? That's why I understand why the creator came down. Like, no, y'all out y'all mind. You understand? Because if everybody knew that, everybody right now in America, right now, knew how to summon Lucifer, forget about it. It wouldn't even be America anymore. Skinwalker Ranch became Skinwalker Ranch through some way, shape, or form outside of our intelligence. And I realize now, like, the English language is more sword than it is a word. And that's why it's a lot of division. This English language is causing a separation internally that people call bipolarism, mental illnesses, anxiety. It's causing people to lie, getting them to believe they defending themselves and they not. It's powerful. It's beautiful. It's crazy at the same time. And I realized since I started, like, you know what, no more filters. I'm going no mercy now. Just like Tupac said, like, nope, you threw all this dirt on my name. You did all this lying, all these tabloids. Nobody spoke up for me. Even like Peter, like the people out there who hold this truth inside themselves and decide not to use it to defend, Peter did the same thing 3 times. So I say, you're gonna deny me 3 times. Knew the truth, and still decided to look the other way. Those are the people who are gonna be judged the hardest. It is a test for everyone. Let you decide. Thank you for listening to my acapella. Maybe I'm reaching that straw. And thank you for watching.